The end result Godzilla is pretty gnarly, but I don't like the tiny arms thing that they're doing with him.
Really tiny arms, really big tail, and like thighs even bigger than the American one.
Yeah, he's thick. He's a thick boy.
Really?
Real tiny head, real big ass, real long tail. So it is a departure. But again, as you said, we on this show believe that all Godzillas are beautiful. So, you know, even if it's not your favorite, it's still a fantastic way to look at Godzilla. So Godzilla comes back, stomp, stomp, stomp all around, starting to make a beeline for Tokyo, and Japan's finally like, cool, let's go ahead and get our guns out. And then we do the escalation of gunfire at Godzilla. It starts out with some like Apache gunships shooting the 30 millimeter, and then we get tanks, and then we have our self-propelled artillery. Everybody's shooting at Godzilla, and he's really just kind of laughing in everybody's face. So I have seen this movie before, but I didn't retain very much of it. So the second time that I went through, I paid a lot more attention to it. And I always love when they get to the like, all right, we have to go through the escalation of force that we know is not going to work to get to nuclear bomb, because we got to get to nuclear bomb at some point. But we got to drop some JDAMs on the trail there. And so they managed to do a very good, like, not just like the destruction that Godzilla can wrought, but the destruction that Japanese forces, that people can do as well. You know, just wholesale dropping JDAMs and bunker buster bombs onto Godzilla. None of it ended up working, obviously. And Godzilla managed to shoot everything out of the sky, too.
Which was awesome. I mean, it's funny because maybe I've just seen so many of these movies when it got to the, helicopters and tanks and artillery scene. I was like, there's like a great wide shot of him just blowing him up like from a distance, and you can see like in the skyline. I was surprised. They actually all got direct hits, basically. Usually these movies have like, oh, he dodges, oh, he missed, oh, we just took out that high rise. Oh, no. It's like, no. You actually have good aim, but it's not doing anything. And then the bunker buster bombs come in, and then things get destroyed. Yeah,
Godzilla is incredible. This Godzilla is incredibly slow. Like, he does not move fast, and
he just stands there.
He just stands there and takes it. He's not an agile Godzilla, which again also kind of breaks. We've seen Godzilla throw some fucking punches in some of the older movies. So this is not unfortunately throwing down Mothra.
This Godzilla like cannot fight King Kong or King Ghidorah or Mothra.
Yeah, he's not a quick one.
No, it's funny because like this is I'm pretty sure the guy Davis is the guy who did Evangelion. That's plenty of giant monsters. This is giant robots, and they're slow until they're not, and it's like no, extra slow.
Right. I didn't watch Evangelion. I thought the robots were fast in that one.
I think they're very fast, but once they get going, it's sort of like they have like lumber there, and then once it's like going, I'm gonna lose so many nerd creds for saying this. It's been years since I saw it. Okay, guys, like they're on a battery line, so they have like a short time to like be fast and do stuff. And
all right, so before we get too much further in the weeds of the plot here, I want to talk about some of the cinematography on here.
Please.
So the beginning kind of scenes of Godzilla, before we see Godzilla, but we start to get the like, oh shit, there's something going on, is the water in the bay pushing into like the canals and rivers that feed into it. And this slow push of like boats and cars and just all of this like kind of detritus being slowly pushed up, which is a really fantastic usage of kind of a foreshadowing. Like, we all know Godzilla's coming, right? We came to the Godzilla movie, but you have to, because everybody knows Godzilla's coming, you have to still make that visually interesting. And I really love the way that they did a lot of that shot.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same shot being of like, there's like some great stuff of like the people sort of evacuating the underwater tunnel. So some handheld stuff. You get some like cell phone footage. It's funny because like about until the big Godzilla fight we were just talking about, a lot of it is very like sort of static camera in the office, in the conference room stuff. And then when you're in the thick of it, when you're in like the chaos, it really gets that way, and it really sort of sells it very quickly, which works. You have a nice contrast early on. I mean, I think the CGI is really good once it gets going. I think early Salamander Godzilla was not so good, but the cinematography is great.
Well, watching through this again and wishing that I could have taken this into or seen this in a theater back in the day, because one of the shots, and because I'm kind of watching it now, you've got Godzilla coming up a canal, so you can see the dorsal fins of Godzilla while all these boats and all this destruction is being wrought. And as soon as he comes up onto land, you get this kind of wide shot of everybody running down the street away from Salamander Godzilla. Maybe it's a goofy look, but but it is also kind of a terrifying image that they create here with this. Like, and I really wish I could have seen that on a big screen, because they have this huge wide shot of Salamander Godzilla just coming up the street, which was really fantastically done. And, again, I understand if this is not somebody's favorite Godzilla, but the design choices that they were able to make here along with this, working with this kind of concept of a Godzilla, I really love what they did with it.
Yeah, I mean, that's love, because it's like, it's not destructive what you think of a Godzilla, but it's like, again, he's evolving, he's doing more as he goes, until you finally see like the wide shot skylines of just like a line of fire and rubble as he walks. It does pay off in building.
Right. He does eventually start like crushing buildings. So again, we have another build up to our eventual ending Godzilla once he comes back. But once he comes back onto land, he's fully bipedal. He's got his tiny arms, but his big tail. Maybe that's where all of his arms went into the tail, I guess. And so he comes up onto land and he starts destroying things, and like, okay, we're gonna drop everything. And that's when we get to bust out the very cool laser beam, not just from the mouth, but from all of his dorsals. And it seems like he has some ability to aim them, I guess. They seem like kind of random, shooting out. And also, I just wonder, like, how far do those lasers go? Because if you're on the ISS and you're just minding your own fucking business, and then suddenly a Godzilla laser cuts through something, you're like, Jesus Christ, we got Godzilla up here.
I want that movie now.
But I do, yeah. Gravity was nice and all, but I want Sandra Bullock trying to survive in space after a space Godzilla. Well, there's space Godzilla.
Yeah, he's got the cool like diamond crystal shoulders. Yeah, just looking down the ISS at Earth and seeing just like, oh, that's what hasn't been tried. Killing Godzilla with rods of God, like an orbital kinetic strike. I'd watch that movie.
Ooh, there's an anime. There's a Godzilla anime about people having to leave Earth because of all the Godzillas, and then they come back. And I would like to see some more of a science fiction Godzilla. What I really want is, while I love this movie and I love Shin -1, and I have affection for the American Godzilla movies, I want a goofy one again. I want something that's kind of goofy and silly. Let's go back to having fun with Godzilla, where he's like punching a giant moth in the face.
As pop stars, yeah,
and then being friends with a giant moth. Yeah, we're taking Godzilla too seriously these days. We need to inject some.
Okay, I got a question for you, Francis.
It.
When you reach out to me about watching this movie, which cool, Godzilla, here for it. You sort of pitched this as talking about dad movies. Your dad, you wanted to watch Godzilla. Did this meet sort of like a dad movie level of quality for you? Because is there anything more dad than being stuck in a meeting you don't want to be in?
Right. This movie is great because it has the side of dad being in an office and having to deal with dumb people who don't listen to you. And it has the sad side of dad of giant lizard fucks things up. And also we get a lot of bombs and explosions. So it really meets, two different kinds of needs. And the hero of this is a bureaucrat in a tie and in a white shirt that, like, look, I'm not a bureaucrat. I'm not a politician, but I do have a corporate job. Certainly, I would love if my emailing job was something so important that I, take out a Godzilla single-handedly. But no, that's just going to be a fantasy, because nobody's going to ever need me to Control-Alt-Delete a Godzilla out. I work in IT. It's not going to help.
Okay, but what? Okay, but next Godzilla movie, well, not for instance, this would be probably -1 guy, but next one should be like a silly one starring an IT guy who has to save the day.
Well, I mean, in the American Godzilla one, we have a podcaster that kind of saves the day. So yeah,
still upset about that choice.
So I mean, I can't say that I'm not represented in Godzilla media somewhere. Whether it be the bureaucrat or the crackpot with a podcast, one way or the other, I am in Godzilla movies. I do see myself there.
Now we just need to get shocks in a Godzilla movie. Well, I mean, like the second American one was in Boston, so.
Well, we just need more lawyers involved in it. But we would just have the Godzilla killing the lawyers, I think. That's the only way to win the audience
start.
Yeah, if Godzilla came aboard or came on land and only killed lawyers, like, how long would it take you to really stop it? No, that's good. We got friends who are lawyers. We're not going to do that.
I can't hit on that. I can't do it. But Shin Godzilla.
Yeah.
Once he's back on land again.
Yeah. So he's back
not
on
killing
land.
Lawyers.
He's killing. Well, I mean, he kills the prime minister and the entire cabinet. So I mean,
that is true. R.I.P. Not Shinzo Abe.
Yeah. Shinzo Abe loved this movie, by the way.
Yeah.
He liked it because he thought it was very nationalist.
I mean, it is Yeah, I can see that.
I know it is, but like not. I wouldn't say this is nationalist in a bad way. Like this is as nationalist as an American movie would be.
Yeah, this is we don't like being told what to do by other people. Nationalism, not let's go invade the entire Pacific nationalists.
Exactly. Yeah, we want to keep Japan strong for us and not accept outside help. Cool, I get that. I understand that you don't want America to bomb the shit out of you. I don't want that for anybody either. So, but yeah, Shinzo Abe loved it, but unfortunately, Shinzo Abe was not ganked by Godzilla.
No, he got the device.
The doohickey, the Godzilla doohickey.